Welcome to a View to a Grill. I'm Johnny, and today we're going to be doing a special occasion worthy roasted chicken on the Golden's cast iron mini Kamado. A roasted chicken worthy of a special occasion doesn't have to be difficult. Let's go over the ingredients. And I'm just going to get whatever I have growing in my garden. I'm going to be using some rosemary, some thyme, a little bit of oregano, and some sage. For our seasoning inside of the chicken, we're just going to be using some salt and pepper. And later for our rub, we'll be using lemon pepper and some Italian dried herbs. We'll start off by seasoning the inside of our chicken with the salt. And next we'll season it with some pepper as well. Now once you have that seasoned, it's time to get all of those herbs into the cavity of the chicken. And now it's time to truss the bird. I'm going for a more traditional look on this chicken just because I think the presentation is better for a special occasion. Now, as soon as I said that, I'm going to tell you, I don't truss a chicken traditionally. I learned how to truss a chicken a long time ago just by watching a YouTube video. And this is the video that I watched. But they're just like anything else, taking some information and then make it work for you. And this is what works for me. Now in the video, they leave the legs extended away from the body of the chicken, and they also leave the wings extended away from the body of the chicken. I'm going to truss the legs and the wings just because that's the way I like it. We're going to start by getting the butcher's twine under the back of the chicken and then just pull it up over the wings and tie it around the front where the neck used to be. Now once that's done, we'll spin the bird around and then tie it up from the back end. And then once that is done, around the thighs, around the ankles, and then just kind of twist it up a little bit under there again and pull it tight. And the last thing we're going to do is just tie a simple square knot to keep everything together. Now after we've tied it, let's take a look at this bird, and you can see that everything looks plump. The skin is tight. Since the skin is tight, it's being pulled thin, and that's what's going to help us get to that bite through skin that we all love. Now we're going to get that into the refrigerator, and the refrigerator is going to dehydrate the skin even more. Another thing that's going to help us get to that bite through skin. Now overnight is ideal, but I did this in the morning. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for maybe about 6 hours now. So we'll just take it out of the refrigerator, set it on the counter, and just kind of let it hang out there while we get our fire ready. Today we're going to be using Kingsford Blue and our small chimney starter. We'll get those 2 starter buckets lit up. In the firebox, I'm going to add 1 chunk of hickory and fill it up about halfway with some unlit Kingsford charcoal. I'll get that spread around just so that we can develop some even heat distribution. I'll go ahead and get my rub ready. All this is about 2 or 3 tablespoons of lemon pepper and about a teaspoon of dried Italian herbs. And when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Now I'm also going to capture all the drippings from this chicken. I have a pizza pan and just a bowl of vegetables that were literally on their last leg in my refrigerator. So all I have is some garlic, some carrots, a few green onions, and these are celery tops. All I'm using that for is to get us some flavor in those drippings. Now, I'm also not salting these vegetables. Everything is going in there just in its natural state. The drippings are going to have salt on them, and if we need to salt the drippings later, we can do that later. Now let's season this chicken. I'm going to start by turning it over and just spraying it with a little bit of canola oil. Now, I like to do the bottom first, just so that I don't have to flip it over again. And then we're just going to make sure we get this seasoning as even as we can all around the chicken. And then once you're done, your chicken should look something like this. And now I'll get my vegetables into the pizza pan and then put the chicken on a rack right on top of that. And now the charcoal's ready. So let's get the charcoal into the Golden's cast iron mini Kamado. Now this cook is going to be an indirect cook. So I'm going to need the searing plate, which today is our heat deflector. I'm also going to use a drip pan on the searing plate. Next, I'm just going to put in the grates, clean up any mess, and now it's time to get this bird on the grill. The drip pan, the grate, and the chicken go on top of that. Now for the drippings, I'm just going to add a little bit of fat in the form of olive oil, and I'm also going to put in about 2 cups of chicken broth. Now I'll also set up my Thermopro signals, and that's how we're going to monitor the temperature today. Now the plan is to just let the temperature rise up to about 350 degrees, and we're going to do that not extremely slow, but we're not going to put the pedal to the metal and get it up fast either. So what I'm going to do is put the top vent at about 2 fingers wide, and the bottom vent, I'll have it wide open, but I'll have the screen door closed. Now this chicken's going to take 2.5 hours to cook doing it like this. I'm going to be checking it every 30 minutes, mainly just to see how far along we're going and to baste it with butter. 30 minutes have gone by, and it's time to check on the chicken and also do our little butter drizzle. Now notice I am drizzling the butter on the chicken. I am not brushing the butter on the chicken. Brushing the butter at this point will just brush off your seasoning, and I don't want to do that, so that's why we're drizzling. Now we'll get the lid closed, and I'm also going to add another small split of hickory. And this is going to do 2 things. We're going to put a little more smoke on the bird, but we're also going to be raising the temperature with this split. So I'm just going to insert that right into the bottom vent, and then use my pliers to kind of shake the firebox, drop embers onto the split, and it'll just catch that split right on fire. And also, if you've seen a lot of my cooking videos, you know that these pliers are my favorite barbecue accessory. They're so good around the grill. If you don't have a pair, check out the link below. 30 minutes later, we're going to check the chicken again, give it a butter drizzle, and this time I'm also going to check the temperature just to see where I am in the cook. At this point, we're about 126 in the breast and 132 in the thighs. This is going along perfectly. And as you can see here, the 2 splits that I added are now on fire and bringing the temperature up in the Kamado. And now 30 minutes later, we're going to check it again. The color is looking good. And I'm also going to remove the drippings. So this is a delicate process. Just kind of drag it off as carefully as I can with those pliers. Once I have it on the sheet pan, I'll use my pliers again. I'll pick it up with the pliers and put it right back into the center of the grill grates. Since I remove moisture from the environment, the layer of fat under the chicken skin is going to render a lot easier now. And I'll take a look at these drippings. This is liquid gold right here. You can make a reduction out of this, or you can make a fantastic gravy out of this. Today, I'm going to do a reduction. Now we'll get the lid closed and take a look at our temperature. It's up to 342 degrees, and it's just going to get a little bit higher than this. It never got over about 365. Now at this point, I went inside and poured all the drippings into a saucepan and turned that on just to start reducing this. The goal was to reduce it by half, but later in the video that didn't happen. People got hungry and we had to eat. Now 30 minutes later, check the chicken again, do another butter drizzle, and check the temperature. Now we are at 161 degrees of internal temperature in the breast. Now at this point, you could remove the chicken and let the residual heat bring the bird up to 165. 165 degrees is what the government considers to be a safe eating temperature for chicken. That's fine, you can do that. But I know my family's taste, and they like their chicken to be done a little bit more. The texture is going to change as you keep cooking your chicken. And there is a window of opportunity to where your chicken is still going to be juicy. Now, granted, 165 is going to be the juiciest and safest chicken, right? But 170 through 175 does not dry your chicken completely out. And if that's the way your family likes it, then you should probably cook it that way. And since that's the way my family likes it, I'm going to close the lid and let this chicken come up just a little bit more. Now, since we were so close to 165, I only let this go for about 10 more minutes. 10 minutes later, check the temperature. We're at our target temperature of 165 degrees. So now I'm going to pull the chicken out and let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. And the residual heat is going to bring this temperature up to in between 170 and 175, which is where my family likes their chicken. Now, I have a video where I did a chicken breast experiment, and I cooked chicken to 165, 170, and 175. If you want to see the results of those 3 temperatures, check out the video above. Now we got our chicken off, it's resting. I'm closing the vents to the Golden's Cast Iron Mini Kamado so we can save the charcoal from being completely burned out, because I'm going to use those again on my next cook. Now let's check the results of all of our hard work. We're going to take some of the breast off right at the tip, and you can see the breast glistening. That glistening sheen is moisture in the breast, so you know the breast is juicy. It cuts like butter. I didn't take the reduction down by half because simply just ran out of time. It was getting dark and my family was hungry, so it probably only went down about 25%, but it is still liquid gold. That reduction is what is going to make this chicken special. Now, if you were just entertaining 4 people or less on a special occasion, this chicken is worthy. Now, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, why not? Thanks for watching A View to a Grill. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.